Hello, Exiles. This is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and welcome to my Frost Blades Warden update. I'm doing a couple of weird things this time. You'll notice I have a bunch of ward. I have over 1500 ward. That's because I'm using Indus Stand, which is a new belt. I just thought I'd try it out. I think it's pretty interesting, and you can get quite a lot just by having this. One of the things they did was change ward restoration time to 2 seconds, and I've been playing around with it, and I think it's pretty decent with block and evasion as other defensive mechanics, along with Nightblade, which gives you elusive on top of that. So you get some extra chance to dodge. Bad timing here. Trains coming through, but I'm just going to do a quick dunes. I'm currently running Legion and Ambush. So I'm going to go ahead and just run through and do that as kind of a demo. I've just been running all sorts of different little strategies and basically just doing whatever I want. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I got the Einhar's Harvest memory. Probably should have done a map beforehand. So every first map I do, I get this weird graphical glitch where it takes a bit for like the enemies to render or something. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and grab that. Definitely want all of these scarabs. Strong boxes tend to give a lot of scarabs for whatever reason. Sometimes you can open them a bunch of times too. So that's useful. And also, in this particular case, we are getting rare monsters and getting to open them a bunch of additional times. Got some 6 sockets. I probably shouldn't even be picking them up, but you know, not the worst. Probably should have taken the quantity and rarity there. That's fine. As you can see, the clear's quite good. Damage is pretty decent. I've done everything except Ubers. I've done some tier 17s. I really struggle on a couple of the tier 17 maps, particularly the Katarina boss, because I think the second person she revives, as far as like the Abyss bosses that she brings in, has like a physical spell, and physical spells this build currently struggles with, even more so because I currently have a bit of a lack of armor, because I'm giving away a lot of my armor for this belt for the ward, and if it's just like frequent physical spell hits, it's not so great. But yeah, as always, this build is very good for Legion. It clears it out pretty quick, so not so good against degens. I think I broke out pretty much everything. There you go. So just go and clear this out, get all the splinters and hopefully some full emblems. Usually get a lot of full emblems per map. So I could do 5 ways pretty much all day right now if I wanted to. Is pretty nice. Oh, got the boss. Just do these strong boxes while we're doing stuff. I got 2 6 links. You get a lot of 6 links with the this setup as well. So yeah, I'm gonna throw these 6 sockets on the ground. I'm gonna need these, and they're just gonna take up space. But yeah, I make a good amount of currency with almost anything, honestly. You can do just about anything and get a ton of currency right now, I think. Um, I think a lot of that too has to do with the market, which is really nice. These incubators and splinters. Don't need this. I'll just pop another one, and I'll just hit this as well. May as well kind of do it all at once since we have good clear. We can kind of just do everything simultaneously. Multitask. I think Oh, that's just about everything. Maybe? Yeah. Took a big hit there, so... Yeah, sometimes, some of the spells that these guys have can do quite a bit to me. And, still have issues with temporal bubbles, of course. One of the things I miss about Trickster the most is just not having to contend with any kind of slows like that. Open up all these warhords, see if we get anything nice. Got an Exalt, not too bad. I don't think I've gotten any full emblems yet. Usually you get some, at least. I think I still have another Legion or two to do, though. Alright. Caustic Ground, gotta be careful of that because my build is kind of weak to degens. I'd like to get some more regen on the build. I think I have like 150 regen or something, but just to deal with ground degens. Also, you know, maxing my chaos resist would be ideal as well. Caustic Ground again. Don't want to deal with that. Alright. I don't know why, but I really like to go around the edges and then clear through the middle. It's like, if you've ever like mowed the lawn and you kind of have a little pattern where you go, maybe that's just me, but I like to do around the edges and then go inward. Alright. Well, maybe I don't have any more legions left. Yeah, and I don't have any room, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll probably just go grab these. Chances are good that the 6 links are going to be bad, so I'll just get some stuff out of them. Oh, the Chaos Res and a lot of life. Still probably not really worth selling at this stage. Just go ahead and I think since they're mirrored, I have to sell them one at a time. Okay. Open up the stack decks. I never sell my stack decks. I like to gamble. I've gotten a couple of really good things off of it. So I'm currently putting all of my extra unique rings away. I have a little tab here for all these. I usually switch to a different, when I get a bunch of them, I usually switch to a different strategy so I can just run them. But yeah, and I have this tab as well. All right. And I may as well go grab those. Everything else. Grab the jewelers while I'm at it. Not a lot of gold in this strategy because I'm not like pumping up the magic monsters and whatnot, and you get very little gold from Legion, so it's not the best gold strat at the moment, but it's I should probably at least look at these two. No, I didn't think so. And throw some gold in my town. Currently not running my mappers or my ships or anything very much because I've been taking longer periods off. But yeah, let's go over the build now. So as I guess before that, the tree I was using for this is just like, you know, strong boxes and Legion basically, and oh, I'm actually currently. That's why I didn't get much gold. I decided to try Meticulous Appraiser and I forgot to turn it off. Okay. Yeah, this gives you a lot less gold. I thought maybe there's like a break point where you actually get more gold, but I don't think that's the case at all. So yeah, I'll just get rid of that and start moving down towards singular focus so I can get the maps that I actually want. Other strategies I have is I just have a generic get scarabs. I'm pretty much running strong boxes on everything because I think strong boxes are really good. But this is just a map sustain and scarab one that I do for Elkingo with the altars as well. Really, really good. This earns a lot of currency and is probably like the lowest effort and investment thing you can possibly do. I think this tree is great, and I also use singular focus. Currently, I am picking up a mixture of dunes, underground, sea, and strand, because those are just the maps that I want to run right now. But you can do that with anything. I don't really sell maps. I don't like bulk selling maps. I usually won't sell anything. But prior to this nice little exchange here, I would basically never sell anything unless it was, at least a divine. And I didn't like bulk selling things and like having to seek that out. But the currency exchange has really helped me, be able to get rid of extra stuff that I have. Otherwise, it just built up the entire league because I just didn't want to sell, a bunch of maps and that kind of thing. But build wise, currently looking at kind of unbuffed here, over 13k evasion, a little over 1200 armor, and those are both greatly debuffed by my Indus stand currently. Over 1500, almost 1600 ward. I have still 7% chaos res, or I have 7% chaos res, no extra max res, and not really LE weakness capped or put over by LE weakness. I'm kind of dancing on the edge with my resistances here. 64 block, 40 spell block. My DPS just for regular mapping is about 6 to 7 million, depending on like the kind of scorches I'm getting. My with the tincture and Unbound Avatar, I go up to like 17, 18 million DPS. So obviously huge, almost triple damage when I press those two buttons. They're just the tincture brings me up to like 11 million alone, and then Unbound Avatar brings me up to like 18 million or so. So pretty solid there. I did get an upgrade on Claw, a little less crit, but quite a bit more attack speed, which I can really feel. This is a physical hybrid, but I'm currently, as you can see, the only offensive thing I'm running is Herald of Ice. The rest is all defense. I guess Precision is technically offense as well, but Grace, Tempest Shield, and Petrified Blood with Bark Skin. So I'm not running any big damage aura at all, and I'm still getting about 7 million damage without my two steroids on and about 18 million with them on. So that's pretty nice. If I were running like an anger or a hatred or something, I'd get a lot more. Currently, since this isn't a pure fizz claw, it just has some fizz damage on it. Anger would be a lot more damage. Hatred is very little damage, so it's definitely not worth it until you get like a full out fizz claw. But the fire damage here is helping me maintain Trinity. I also have a lot of fire damage. Like this is a double fire damage magic Abyss Jewel, which I'm using because of bubonic trails. And then I also get a bunch of crit because I'm using Tech Rod's Gaze. And I have a rare one as well. So I'm basically getting 3 power charges. And this is also double fire damage and int, which is important. I think I just have a couple of regular jewels other than that. This one's giving me some spell block, whatnot. Yeah, body armor is really good. 15 to 1600 armor and evasion, life, spell suppress. I have fortify now. Fortify is really nice. I have my +1 frenzy charge and additional strike gloves. I had these for a while. I think they were like 5 or 6 div. Total investment is about 20 div currently. So And that's because I bought Yoke when it was 7 divs. Otherwise, it might still be around that price. Not really sure. But I have my Yoke with Veteran's Wrath. That allowed me to get rid of Oath of Spring and to move into Oath of Summer. They buffed Oath of Summer. It was bugged previously. It would basically not overwrite the smaller scorches as you continued to attack. Now it does. So now you can get up to double 30, so the full 60% scorch, which is huge. In combination with like Trinity and Forces of Nature, you get a lot of penetration there. I think a total of plus another 26, so 76 penetration, which is obviously quite a lot. So at this stage, the average damage is better than the inverted mastery, so I got rid of that. Both of my rings are amethyst rings because I need chaos res. This one also has an additional 21 chaos res. I still needed int, so I have that going. I have Veteran's Wrath on to give me rage on melee hit. Very important. Still have a heat shiver. I should probably upgrade to a corrupted one or try to self-corrupt one. This is the only one I've found, but obviously I could buy a corrupted one pretty easily. I could get a power charge and drop crit elsewhere if I want to. Ideally, I could get attacks can't be evaded, and maybe I'll just craft that over the physical damage. I would lose damage immediately, but I'd be able to get out of all of this accuracy stuff, and that would allow me to run another cluster jewel or get more block. I could go into iron reflexes if I want. That would give me a lot of flexibility on points. So there's a lot that could be done here. I did get out of this double damage node just because it was too far of a stretch, and at the time the physical is extra cold was doing nothing for me because I didn't really have much fizz damage on my claw. It would be a little better now, but that I could go into that if I got hits can't be evaded. That's an option. And then the crit being gone from this, I'd be able to end this. I could easily make up for just by taking the power charge and everything. Into stand, the key point here is you gain ward instead of 50% of armor and evasion from equipped body armor. Ward is insane against things that just attack because I have, evasion and block. So, and I have quite a lot of block as well. So let's say I have 75% chance to evade. That means normally 1 in 4 attacks would hit me, but then 62% of those are blocked that do get through as well. So that means on average I'm getting hit like 1 in 10 times instead. So, and usually with all the freezing and chilling going on and just killing things before they can really get a chance to attack a lot, ward is going to have ample time to regenerate. Ideally, I'd get to do something like having a ward base gloves that has the +1 frenzy charge and additional strikes, but also has faster restoration of ward, because that would, basically have my uptime of my ward be much higher, and that's giving me a ton of HP. And that, along with the petrified blood and all of the life on hit and life steal and instant leech, basically makes it very, very difficult to kill me outright. My effective physical hit with steel skin on is like 13k I can take, which obviously there are things that can do that. But when you're mapping normally, you're not going to run into a lot of things that can do that much damage. Without steel skin on, it's like 9, almost 10k, I think. And so if I'm a little slow, I'm still going to survive almost everything you run into mapping. There's still very little that can do a 10k fizz hit, with that. So that is Still running the same shield. It's a good enough shield, and I really need the spell suppress. So I thought about running this shield right here, the Svalin, because it gives black is lucky, and the -2 maximum wouldn't really make too much of a difference because I'm not capped anyway. So if I could get a little bit more black plus that, first of all, that would put my spell block up to 55, and then it'd be lucky. So it'd be, close to right around 76 or something percent spell block, basically, with the lucky on average. And then my regular chance to block would drop down to, I think, around like 48 or so. So it would actually be pretty close to the same. But I could try to get more block elsewhere. Uh, and yeah, I could just also. I have another one of these somewhere. I've gotten a few of the. This one's only 11%, so it's actually worse. But I could just buy a better one. Obviously, I still have a little bit of a solo self-found mindset sometimes, so I'm like, oh, I can only use stuff that I find. But um, yeah, that is that. This was the belt that I was using before into stand, and yeah, just regular Stygian Vice with stuff. I'd get a lot more damage with this between the extra Murderous Eye Jewel and the elemental damage with attack skills, but yeah, I just really wanted to try the ward, and it seems to be really, really effective for survivability with this particular defensive setup. So I do enjoy it. I'll probably switch back at some point though, just to see how the survive, because I hadn't yet put on Petrified Blood prior to this, so I'd probably still be very survivable with the Petrified Blood with this. I'd get some extra life. I could probably just get a better belt too. Um, this Stygian Vice is one that I just self found and I've had for a long time. But you know that is pretty much the gear. I recrafted the tincture to instead have cooldown recovery instead of the increased effect and increased mana burn because my unreserved mana is pretty low. So I'd rather, be able to use this for a few seconds while I'm actively leeching. Usually it's like, it's actually pretty close to Unbound Avatar. It matches up pretty well, it seems. So and then I'd just be able to press it again quicker with the increased cooldown recovery rate. I think these are, not the highest tiers, but I just got tired of rolling it. The rest of the stuff is, I actually sorted all of this stuff out, so I have like some extra stun and black recovery, and I have 100% chance to avoid being frozen, so I didn't need this to be a freeze immune flask anymore, so I just, now I have it on use when charges reach full, and I have everything set up to gain a flask charge when you deal a crit. There's an internal cooldown where you can only gain 10 flask charges per second. That's pretty close match to my attack speed when I'm amped up. I think maybe it's a little bit more than that. I'm not exactly sure, but it's pretty close. And so, with all their separate chances, they do seem to fill pretty evenly. I don't think I'm hitting the cap, especially now that I have the tincture. When I was sharing it between 4 flasks, it was a little bit sketchier, but uh, and then I have a bleed immune life flask, which is pretty standard. Reduced curse effect on this, and increased armor. I should probably have increased evasion on this. I was just I'm like, extra armor will be helpful. I don't have a ton of armor. I had a lot more before putting on Indas. I had close to 3,000, but maybe like 2,500 or so. Skill tree. I have a cluster jewel now. Cluster jewel is pretty good. It's attributes max life. I actually made this one myself, and in fact, it was very easy to make because all I did was do one speed reroll, one harvest speed reroll. I got the 4 attributes, 7 life, and 3 attack and cast speed first try, and then I exalted the 35% increased effect. So I got really, really lucky with this one. Each one of these nodes is huge DPS. So I'm going to be adding these for, all of my remaining levels as it is. And when I get the attacks can't be evaded and I get rid of all the accuracy that I don't need, I'm just gonna probably pick these up. So I've got that going. Oh yeah, the other way I can, when I lose some crit, I just literally get the 80% increased crit strike chance against bleeding, and that'll cap me out again. I'm currently overcapped by like 50% crit, but that's fine. As far as how I'm getting all of my charges, I get endurance charges on kill from Aspect of the Links. If enemies have charges, I steal them. I'm getting power charges from Storm Rider, and I'm getting frenzy charges by a combination of Ice Bite for clearing, and for single target, it's the Mark Mastery. So I pretty much have full uptime on all of my charges. I have 633 currently. I don't have the frenzy charge down here. I might pop down and get that at some point, move some things around as needed, but currently this tree is doing pretty well for me. I have the exact same lethal pride that I had before. Oh yeah, the medium cluster is just astonishing affliction and storm rider. I haven't bothered slamming an exalt for just the one small node. There's not really too much of a point. Yeah, I have this pretty mediocre jewel here. This pretty mediocre jewel here. This jewel that I actually need specifically because of the stats. My jewels could use a big upgrade for sure. So I still have a ton of room to improve this build, but overall, it's not too bad. It's working out pretty well. Lots of upgrades. I think I could pretty easily get to like 10, 11 million unbuffed, I will say. And then with Unbound and my tincture, probably somewhere close to about 30 million. I think that's a pretty achievable goal, just with some pretty minor upgrades. Important thing that I did down here too is I did have so much damage before that, but I was dying a decent amount, so I just went down to deflection and also got the black mastery, and that's how I have all of my black and everything. I think black is really good right now. You get big numbers from these, from basically all the black stuff now. The shields giving a much higher base chance to black are really good, 46%. So I mean, and that's not even a tier 1 roll or anything. It is tier 2. But yeah, you can get higher than that, a good amount of black. And I think that's pretty much everything. I'll try to remember to put the POE in the description. Hope you're enjoying the league. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying getting back into the game. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I'll see you next time. Bye.